guys, welcome to the Xemxija Heritage Trail. I hope that you will like it. We're going to start with the famous Roman road. Please enjoy. So the first stop at the Xemxija Heritage Trail. After that we went up the Roman road. It's a cave dwelling. Most probably this place was used by people living in this area as a place of refuge for themselves, for their families. And one interesting point that there is inside this cave upon entering this cave is a graffiti of a galley. Something that we don't know is when it was done. Perhaps during the nice period, or maybe perhaps it goes even much more back. So who knows? Please explore this cave with me. Stop number 2 at the Xemxija Heritage Trail, Roman apiaries. We know that this industry flourished during the Roman period, and it's no coincidence that the Xemxija Heritage Trail has multiple apiaries. We know that this area was one of the port of calls during the Roman period, and therefore it makes absolutely sense that apiaries are situated within this hill. Let's explore this apiary together. So the next stop, behind me, the famous burial cave. A burial cave that, as we know, it dates back to the Roman Punic period. So this cave behind me was used for the preparation of burials, and as we know, in the nearbys here there are multiple shaft and chamber tombs, and perhaps this burial cave was a place of preparation before they continue with the burial process. An amazing cave, and imagine if this cave behind me could tell us what happened actually inside. Hello guys, another stop at the Xemxija Heritage Trail. Behind me, the famous 1,000-year-old carob tree. Carobs, a fruit that was quite popular during our past, a fruit that was consumed by the local population, but also it was used to feed animals. This 1,000-year-old carob tree, as you can see, it's impressive. Let's take care of it. Guys, another stop at the Xemxija Heritage Trail. Behind me, the second set of apiaries. This one is also preserved wood. Let's take care of it. We just passed the Pilgrim's Road, a road that has deep connections with our religious history, a road that we know that pilgrims used to take on their way to Xemxija, which is one of our famous Marian shrines, a road that who knows how many pilgrims have passed from it. Please pass from this road and live the experience. So another stop at the Xemxija Heritage Trail, the Punic Tomb. Behind me you can see the famous Punic Tomb, a splendid example. It's quite conserved. Of course it can be kept better, but this example can show us exactly the capabilities that our ancestors had and their ways how they used to bury their loved ones. So another stop at the Xemxija Heritage Trail. Now we are near the farmer's hut. This hut that of course is not that much old when we can compare with other remains here, like the Punic and the Roman remains. This hut is circa beginning of the 20th century, but still it's a beautiful example, and I believe that we should conserve this architecture. It can remind us of our ancestors. Another stop at the Xemxija Heritage Trail. Here we are near another set of cave dwellings. Perhaps these ones, they are much more preserved and they can give us a better narrative about how our ancestors they used to live inside such caves, and it will remind us that the recent till the beginning of the 20th century, some scholars say that these caves were still inhabited by the local population. So when we are here at this heritage trail, we need to take care of our heritage. Let's preserve our heritage. The Xemxija Heritage Trail is the area where we can find the grain silos. What we know is that these grain silos date to the Punic and Roman period, and in my opinion they are beautifully preserved, and I recommend each one of you who's interested in the Punic Roman period to come and make a visit. one of the most beautiful places of the Xemxija Heritage Trail is exactly where there are the famous cart ruts. The famous cart ruts that till today we don't know exactly for what they were used, but for sure what we know is that local scholar David Trump said that after decades of studying these cart ruts, he does not know exactly for what they were used. So I leave it to your imagination. But what can I tell you is that when you come to visit the Xemxija Heritage Trail and you visit their cart ruts, you will find out that some of them, they are 1 feet deep. 1 feet deep. 30 centimeters deep. So come and visit the Xemxija Heritage Trail and give us your opinion, perhaps on the comments below, for what they were used, these cart ruts. I will wait your comments. So behind me the famous Roman bats, that honestly they are quite unknown with the local population. Recently they came into the spotlight due to development proposal, construction development proposal within this area, but they are situated in quite a nice place, a humble place, a place with a fantastic panoramic view with a belvedere, and I can understand why the Romans precisely pick this site to do their baths. I can imagine during those days the scenery, the panoramic view that they had when they were using these baths. Of course, this site later was used for other purposes. What we know is that it was used as a farmhouse, because inside there are multiple features that later you will have the opportunity to see. So, the Xemxija Heritage Trail comes to an end here. I think that we finished with quite a nice spot. I hope that you will come to at least try to find some time to come and to do this trail. It's an interesting trail, and I'm sure that you will like it. Thank you very much, and I hope I will see you here at the Xemxija Heritage Trail.